Hello, I'm back. So I know that a lot of people are going through just a lot in general right now. I don't know what's in the air, but I feel it too. And I've been like kind of in a little rut. And yeah, I decided to come here so I can come with my little community and I can help you guys out with a few tips. If you are, honestly, these tips can help you at any age because at any point in your life, these can just help you in general. I wish that I knew this information sooner. So if you are like 22, 21, younger, whatever, listen to this video. And if you're older, everybody, just come listen. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips, a few things that I've learned based on listening to other people and based on what I've gone through. So first, I'm gonna let y'all know that I'm gonna have to split this up because I have so many of these points. I was just sitting in my room and I was just like thinking about everything that I've gone through and I'm like, yep, I need to add that right to the list. So I might have to split this up into like 2 or 3 parts, but we're just gonna get started with a few points that I feel like y'all need to hear right now. So number one, this one has mixed emotions, and the reason why I say that is because when I say it, some people won't really understand what I mean. So basically, this first one is stop letting people know your weaknesses. But there's certain people you can let know what your weaknesses are, what weaknesses, but I feel like sometimes you can get too vulnerable. And me as a person, I'm more like shut off. Like, I don't really talk about things, I keep everything to myself. So then it's like sometimes when things add up and I'm around a person and they make me feel comfortable, and I'm like trying to test the water, see if I can let them know. And then I let them know, and then I immediately regret it afterwards. The things that make you sad, the things that make you angry, or just like trigger you. Yeah, the things that will trigger you. Don't let people know that. Please do not. Because I don't care what anybody says to you. They might be in your face and they're like, I would never tell anyone. I would never do this. I would never do that. And then it's like they might think they won't do it. Say if you guys get into an argument, once you get into an argument with somebody, some people will still keep that loyalty and not say anything about your past or anything like that. Kudos to them, but not a lot of people do that. Some people, once they are mad at you, once you guys are in an argument, there are no rules. So they are going to continue to bring up your past and try to make you feel bad, especially if you try to come at them for what they're doing and they don't want to take accountability. They're going to come right back at you and try to hurt you. So stop letting everybody know your weaknesses and letting people know what triggers you, because they will definitely use it against you. The only person that needs to know your triggers is you, God, and your therapist. Number two, this sort of goes with the first one, but stop saying so much. So, ever since I was younger, my mom always taught me, she would say, you don't have to say so much. When somebody asks you a question, you can answer that question and you don't have to add extra stuff to it. Because, like, I would answer the question and then I would add extra stuff, like extra information. So, yeah, she would teach me and she would say, like, you don't need to say all of that. They ask you this question, just answer the question and you don't need to add extra stuff, because now at this point you're just letting people know information that they didn't even need to know about you, and they're just going to hold on to that and know that information in the back of their head. And it's sad to say, because sometimes you want to just be able to talk and you want to just be able to say things, and some people might feel a certain way about this one, but it's just true. I would let people know certain information and it seemed like they would mean well and they wouldn't do anything with that information, but then turns out they would tell somebody else, or like they would use it against you. So I would say to just be vague. You don't have to say so much, and it depends who you're talking to. If you feel like you can trust them, you do what you want, but I'm just telling you to just keep it very vague. Just keep it straight to the point. Number 3, do not rely on anybody. Do not rely on anybody. The moment that you decide to put your fate in someone else's hands is the same moment that you choose to lose control over your reality of life. And when I say that, I mean that you just never know. Someone can mean the best in their heart, but circumstances happen, and I'm not saying to blame the person. Things happen. We're human. But at the end of the day, the moment that you choose to put whatever happens to you in someone else's hands and you don't have like a backup plan or anything like that, you lose control of the reality that you want to happen. There could be an event or just something that could be happening and you want to be a part of that. and your all is being put in, like, based on what actions the other person does. If they don't do this, you can't be a part of this. You need to have a backup plan for yourself, even if it's not exactly that. You just need to know in the back of your head that this possibly might not happen. Growing up, so many times people have promised me things and have told me things and just got my hopes up, and things didn't happen the way that it was supposed to happen. And it's like I'm saying I would not blame them. Certain things I do get upset about, and I feel like they do get the blame. But for some other instances, I understand that they're human, and you got to understand the way that humans work is that sometimes when they're in an exciting mood, when you're like in a circle and the vibe, the energy, everything's up, and you're just like, oh my gosh, yes, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Like, just like when you meet a new group of friends, and y'all get in a circle, you're at an event, and the energy's up, and y'all are like, yes, like, we're gonna go get some ramen, I want to go get some sushi, we gonna go to the mall every Saturday, and I definitely want to meet up with you and just have like a journaling session, or I want to do like this group thing where we just like come in tune with our emotions, like just a bunch of different stuff that I've heard. And it's excitement. You mean well, you want to do it. And then circumstances happen to the point where it's like, okay, I can't do that. And it's not that they mean harm, but things get in the way, and you have to understand that. So just never put your fate of anything in someone else's hands, because the only person that you can trust is you, because you're in your own body. And then also think about it, sometimes you can't even trust yourself. Like, there's been times where I have plans and I tell myself I'm going to do this, and then circumstances happen and I'm not able to do it. If sometimes you can't do it for yourself, just come to reality that maybe somebody else cannot do it, especially if you just met them. Don't depend on anybody. Always make sure that you're good with yourself and you have a backup plan. The next one is going to be to please stop trusting people so easily. People are great actors, and you will understand that as life goes on and the more people that you meet. When I was younger, I was so naive because I feel like I was very closed off on a lot because of the family that I grew up in, and I'm grateful. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but at times when you grow up in a family like that where it's like you're closed off and all you see is like fairy tale stuff, and like certain shows you're not allowed to watch, so all you're seeing is like the fairy tale type of stuff, and you think life is a certain type of way, and then when you finally get out there, it's totally different, and you're just slapped in the face with so much. And I have like gone through so much, seen so much, heard so much, and I thought life was completely different. And that's why I feel like also too, as kids, like, of course your family should keep you safe, but they should let you know what goes on in the world and why you're being kept safe, instead of just like not telling you certain stuff and you have to figure it out on your own. Because I feel like at times I would just have to figure things out on my own, or I would have to get slapped in the face with the consequences of being naive. Just stop being naive. You cannot trust everybody. When you first meet somebody, I know that everyone has heard this, but they just don't listen, but it's true. They will show you the perfect image of them when you first meet them. You do it. When you go out with somebody, you get all dolled up, you get cute, you exfoliate, you shave, you do everything, and y'all go out and you show the best part of you. Even if you are a great person, I'm not saying you're a bad person and you're trying to like lie about who you are, but you just show the best side of you, even though you know that there's other sides of you that are a little more complicated than what you're putting on. That's what the other person is doing. And some people are really evil. Like, I listen to so many different true crime stories or just story times in general, and when I listen to these stories, nobody knew that was going to happen. Do you think the person that got murdered, I don't think I can say that on YouTube. Do you think the person that thought they were going to get, so exactly, they didn't think that that would happen to them. Nobody thinks that anything's going to happen to them. Like, who knows that? You just never know. Just please be aware and know that, yeah, they're acting perfect in front of your face, but let time go. Don't tell them stuff when you just met them. There have been times where I decide to be vulnerable and I'll say something to somebody, and then afterwards I'm like, girl, you know better. Literally, why would you do that? So now they know these things about me. There have been instances where someone has looked in my eyes and they lied. So people are great actors, and I don't know, people are just very evil. So don't believe them. When I say don't believe them, I just mean to have your guard up, pay attention, listen, and allow them to show you, because they're going to show you. They can't be a great actor for only but so long if that's not them, unless they're just completely crazy. But something's going to slip up and something's going to make sense, and you're going to be like, I got it, I caught it. So, to save you from the trouble, just chill. Take it slow. A lot of people just try to move too fast. You don't have to move so fast. Just slow down a little bit. Number 5, spend money on things that make you money. I am currently in the midst of trying to be more mature with my money and understanding that once I get older, I will have regrets if I spend all of my money on things that are just liabilities. You need to start trying to, along with getting things that you want, also realizing that you have to put money into assets that will make your money back. Passive income, particularly, is what I'm talking about. I just feel like, I grew up, and once I started making money, I immediately was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm making my own money. I can get whatever I want. And I just started buying everything that I wanted. And at first, I was doing great saving my money. I wasn't even really worried about buying like clothes and things like that, just a little bit, but not too much. And then eventually I just started caring about that, and I just started buying a bunch of clothes, a bunch of just different stuff, shoes, jewelry, and it became like, I don't want to really say like, and I don't know if this word is okay to say. That's the thing about YouTube. I just don't know. So I'm just going to say that I just kept buying stuff, kept buying stuff, kept buying stuff. And it came to a point where my room is low key like a hoarder room. It's not a hoarder room, but like it's like almost getting there. And this is now where I just stop. And I realized, no, I cannot do this. I do not need this much stuff. This is gluttony, and it's just not right. So, also, when I say hoarder room, I don't want you guys to think that my room just has like food all over and it's just junky and smelly. It's not like that, but it's just like getting so congested with clothes. I keep putting bins on top of bins, and like now it's consuming me. I don't even want to be in my room, and sometimes when I'm in there, I just feel like I wake up and my mind feels congested because all I'm looking at is congestion in my vision. So it's just I just don't want to see it. So I'm in the midst of cleaning my room out, clearing everything out. Earlier, I was getting rid of stuff that I realized that I really don't need. And I'm going to go on a strike from buying things. Of course, maybe here and there I'll buy things, but not as compulsive as I was and impulsive as I was. It's just way too much, and I don't want to be gluttonous. I realize that there are people out there that need more things, and it comes to a point where you're selfish. Yes, it is my money that I'm making, but I also want to be able to help others who aren't able to have a job like I do, and I just want to do better and stop spending my money on useless things that are only for me. I need to take my own advice when I tell other people to try to give and see what you can give to others. And I'm taking accountability, and I realize that I need to do the same thing if I'm going to tell other people that. So, yes, guys, we got to do it together and stop overly consuming. Also, I know that social media plays a big part in this because, as you can see on apps like TikTok, Instagram, whatever, you just see all these influencers, and sometimes you want what they have, or at least you think you do, and then once it's in your closet, you never wear it. And then as time goes by, months go by, you look when you're trying to clean things out and you're like, I forgot I had this. Why do I even have this? It's not my style. So I'm realizing now my style, realizing that I don't need so much. I just need the basics and then a few pieces that, make it pop out. And you just don't need so much. So just try to stop over consuming and actually put your money into things that'll help you to make money back. Because when you get older, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to have to keep working. You just want to relax and just look back on your life and be very grateful and feel like you did put things out into the world. This next one is really going to help you out. If you don't listen to anything, please listen to this. I want you guys to just make sure that you build as many skills as you can, because you have to understand that You need to make yourself as valuable as possible because value does not die as long as you continue to keep learning and you just build treasures in your mind. You want to be able to read, you want to be able to do things that are hard for you because it counts more, especially when you don't want to do it. You just make yourself do it. And also, when you choose not to do it, would you rather just not do it and regret it, or would you rather just do it and you know that you'll always be proud of yourself for doing it and then just getting it out the way? It's just best to do things like read. I know a lot of people say that I can't focus. Trust me, I cannot focus. Like, I'm not going to self diagnose, but my mom, she actually has ADHD, and sometimes I feel like I have symptoms. And so my mind just always keeps having like all these thoughts at once, and I hear every little sound, every little tick, every little everything when I'm trying to read. But what I do is just I hear the sound, I stop for a minute, get my composure, and then I get back to that page. And also in my mind, I remind myself like what's in this book that I really want to learn. I don't grab a book just to grab a book and just to read anything. Like, what I grab is something that I actually want to learn. So I grab books based on like financial knowledge and things like that, or I try to just watch things on financial knowledge, anything that could just help me, or psychology. So those are things that I'm interested in. And so when you have a book that you're interested in and it's hard to read it, you just remind yourself that there's something valuable in here that I actually want to learn that will help me throughout life and that I can keep with me throughout life. So when it's that important, it'll help you to just be like, well, let me just finish this page. And so the way that I started too is that I read Atomic Habits, and I don't remember if I read it in Atomic Habits or I've seen it in a podcast, but someone said that it's not about trying to get it all done at once. Do it in increments. So if you want to read, but it's hard for you to read, just get your mind comfortable. Get your mind to adapt to the atmosphere of that task. So basically, just get your mind warmed up, comfortable for what it's about to start doing. So if you want to read, at least start with one page. Get that one page out the way. And then if it's something that you actually like, your mind will be like, I want to know the rest of this story or the end of this sentence at least. So you'll just keep going for a little more. And you might keep going, but if not, that's okay. You can leave it there at that page. And then what you'll do is go back and you'll try to read more and more and more and more and just exercise your brain. And it'll come to a point where you actually want to read, because I used to not care that much about reading. I was just like, whatever. Not that I don't think I don't need to read, because yeah, it helps with my vocabulary, it helps with just my way of thinking. But as I started reading in increments and I built that skill, now I actually want to read, and I notice a difference in my speech when I'm talking to people. When I stop reading for a while, I notice that when I'm talking at times, I can't like say how I actually feel because I don't know how to say it. But when I'm reading, I just understand that I summarize it well. And I just realized that my vocabulary just gets a little bit better. So it really helps. And also, people will see in you your value and they'll want to add you to their team. You'll just always be that treasure, and no one can throw you away. No one can just get rid of you because you have so many skills. At least if you can't read, just try to watch things that are very productive and that teach you things. In life, so many things change, so you don't want to be stagnant while everything else around you is moving. You want to be able to move with everything and just try to adapt and be smarter in any possible way. I decided I'm going to leave you guys with the lucky number 7. That's a lucky number. So that's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. And this is going to be fake it till you make it. And when I say this, I don't mean to act like somebody that you're not, but I mean to act like the future self that you want to become now, because no one's gonna know. That's the thing. Everybody thinks that everybody knows. No one's a psychic. No one knows what you're thinking, and no one knows your plans unless you say it or you show them. That's one thing that I realized as I got older, that honestly, reading psychology and everything like that and just common sense, no one knows what you're thinking. I'm the type of person that would constantly overthink, and yes, I do overthink at times, but it's is easing down a little bit. But when I would overly overthink and just have like social anxiety, I will always think that everyone's staring at me, and I don't know, like they would just make me nervous, and I would just not be like show my full potential just because I'm thinking that everyone's paying attention to me. And that's another thing. There's nothing wrong with people paying attention to you. Like, I think that's like a trauma response based on if you were younger and you used to get like bullied. Like, I wasn't like bullied like in the movies, like you get pushed in a locker and get beat up and stuff. Like, nobody ever got physical with me because then that's when I would fight back. But it would just be like people constantly talking and just always having something to say. And so, with dealing with that, I would just always constantly feel like if someone's staring at me, they think something negative instead of thinking, oh, well, maybe they're looking at me because they like my lip combo. Maybe they're looking at me because they like my hair or my outfit. I would never first think that they're looking at me because they like what I have on or what I look like. I would just always feel like it was because of something negative. So I started realizing that as I got older, and I just started thinking logically, and the fact that no one knows what you're thinking, no one's in your brain except for you. That just made me realize that it's all in my brain and it's all in what I went through in the past. That's not what's actually happening right now. So, also, too, when I watch interviews, I see a bunch of different artists. They'll be doing a set and they'll say, like, every time I get on stage, I get nervous. Like, I get butterflies in my stomach, and you just don't see it when they perform. When they're performing, like, they're up on that stage and they're doing their thing, and you just don't see any fright at all. So that shows me that they are nervous, but the show that you see on the outside, you cannot tell. So don't let people see that you're nervous. If you're nervous, keep it to yourself and give them a show. Like, if people want to look, okay, you can look. I'm going to give you a show. That's how you have to think in your head. And you just have to always look confident. Never put your head down. I always teach my little brother, when I see his posture going down when he walk into a room, I say, boy, stand up and put your back up and look like you're a man walking in that building. I be telling him, like, stop looking down, because I hate when he does that, because nobody knows until you do little gestures or body language. Like, if you learn body language, it literally teaches you that the body has a language that shows you how they feel. So you just have to always just look confident, even if you feel like my edge is not looking right or my bun, my hair not right, you just got to sit up and just be like, okay, like, it's not done, but it's going to get done and I look good. That's just always how you have to think. You always got to be confident. And if there's something you need to work on, it's not impossible. You can work on that. And if it's something that you cannot change, you just have to embrace it. Everybody's different for a reason. If this world was not diverse, then it would be very boring. It wouldn't be so much just diversity and just beautiful people in this world. If everybody looked the same, it would just be so boring. So just always think of it like that and embrace the difference that you have within yourself from other people, that separate you from other people. So, yeah, that is my lucky 7 advice that I have for you guys. And I love you all. Please comment something that you would like to hear from me next. I think I'm just going to start doing like little chit chats or based on things you just want to know. Like, just let me know. And thank you for always supporting me. I love you all, and I hope you have a great new year. Actually, I might just make a video about New Year's. You guys might catch me. I did one last year. You guys can check that out. It should be like up here. I think up here. But yeah, you guys can check that out. And like I said, I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Bye.